Well, hello there. It is I, the Unpicked One, coming to you on the internets via the YouTube. And I have decided, in my infinite wisdom, that it was time to get on the internets and say a few things to all the viewing audience. Um, I got something pretty cool here that I can show you. You want to see something pretty cool? Well, prepare. Prepare to have your socks knocked off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There you go. Unpicked One. Presented to Unpicked One for passing 100,000 subscribers. It's genuine, it's certified. I got a little note. It's just probably a generic note that they put in every one of them, but they signed it and made it look like it was customized for me. But, yep. Got this a little bit before Thanksgiving a few months ago, and ain't it pretty? The Unpicked One YouTube silver button. I'll have to find a place to hang it up in my mansion here, but that's something, ain't it? Something worth getting on the internet and saying something about. I think it is. But what else? What else do I need to speak on or talk about? just for a second here, I guess I should introduce myself in case there's somebody watching that has never watched one of my videos before, which would be the vast majority of the human population. But I am the Unpicked One, or you could call me by my pen name, A Booger Bridges. I'm the author of this here book, The Ballad of the Unpicked One, Today's Origins. Yep. That's all my book right there. I've got pictures in it in the back right there, as you can see. Lots and lots of pictures of my characters and the animation and all that. That's who I be. I'm the who's it who been making all kinds of various and sundry videos on the YouTube. But so what did I want to get on here to say today to the 0.001% of the 100,000 subscribers that actually watch? Well, what has the Unpicked One been up to lately? Well, I've been pretty busy. You ready for another shock? I don't know if you're prepared for two shocks like this in one night. Hope you're not on your medication, or hope you're not off it, but get ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Today's in 3D resin, UV resin printed. It says he's got a heart of wood, like a hero should, just like the theme song says. But yeah, got a 3D printer. Wanted to try it out. I'd seen them for years and years and years. I remember seeing them, like, I think back in 2010, seeing the filament ones that use the stuff that looks like weed eater line and goes through and goes into the nozzle and comes out and it prints like that. Thought about getting one of them, but at the time they were pretty expensive, and then I thought not. But forgot about it for a long time. Came back, looked at it again, saw that the prices had come down, but they were still pretty high. Well, recently I saw something called a UV resin printer. And it is a different, altogether different way of printing than one of those filament printers. It's prints with UV activated resin, and it only has one moving part, and that's a rail that moves a platform up and down. Instead of, having to move the nozzle all around the plate to print like on the other ones, this one just goes up and down, prints stuff upside down, dips into a vat of resin that has a clear bottom. Underneath that clear bottom of transparent plastic, there is a UV screen that produces UV light. Plate goes down, screen comes on, exposes the UV resin for a few seconds, plate goes up. Plate goes back down, it repeats over and over again, layers and layers and layers upon layers, until you get this. So, let's see. Had a lot of fails, I'll admit it. I've had more fails than I've had successes with the printer as of today, but I'm tuning it in and I'm learning how I need to go about doing things on here. Printed there, I can see them over there. You can't, but I can. Over there in the corner, I've got like 7 things of Tadeus, my character, that I printed out, that some came out okay, some didn't, some came really close to being okay, but they've got a few little problems. This one is one that I think came out, it's 99.9% correct. Figured out the best way to print out a figure of him. Print the cape separate. Print him like this at a 45-degree angle. Print the cape at a 45-degree angle. Rip the supports off, clean them up, put them together like that. Then the supports, they leave kind of a little dot on him. And if you look at it really hard, you will see little bitty dots from the supports. And I suppose that you would, if you really wanted to get rid of them, you'd sand them off. I don't know. That would be tedious and time consuming. But I figured, hey, print the cape like this, print him like this. The supports are going to be in here. Well, then when you put the cape on him, cape covers up the supports that are on his back. He covers up the supports that are underneath the cape. Kind of hides the little bitty dots. So that was a good idea I have. I have printed out some of him with the cape that have come out good. Here is the example. This is the prototype of what I'm working on. My big plan. And you see this big heart-shaped stand that he's on? Says he's got a heart of wood. Well, this was my first attempt to see about making a stand that I could put a music chip in, that you push a button and it would play his theme song. Figuring out how to scale things, because you see the program that I model in, which is called Maya, works in centimeters. The program that prints that I use to slice these up to make the prints, I think Shootbox, works in millimeters. I work in inches. So it gets confusing because I'm constantly having to say, okay, 100 millimeters, that's 4 something inches. How much is it exactly? Okay, well, how many millimeters do I need for a 1/4 inch? Okay, well, in Maya, that's centimeters. Have to convert that to millimeters because when I move it into the shoot box, it's going to be in millimeters. So it's a headache. I really just wish that I could work in millimeters or centimeters. It would make it easier, but it's just hard. Constantly having to convert it in my mind. Okay, 25 point something millimeters for 1 inch. But figuring it out, slow but sure. And I've also figured out I've got to print things out separate. I can't try to print this whole thing out. Well, I want the mechanics in there, the little chip to push the button to play his theme song. I have to print it out separate. So the plan, make this stand, print out a taller model of Tadeus, and I have a video that I made of what I'm planning on doing. I'm showing you the video right now of the statue of Tadeus, where he's holding the flag, and he's going to be on this stand. I have, after a lot of sanding, got this together, the stand. He's got a heart of wood, and prepare yourself for the third shock of the night. I'll get closer to the mic over here. Have to hit the button 2 times to stop it. I don't know why. Sometimes I can hit it once to stop it, but I don't know. So there, that's the stand. And then a lot bigger, boom, he'll be on it, holding the flag, and you push the button. Theme song plays. The plan. Well, what is the plan to do with these statues? Well, obviously, to promote the book. I plan on making the statues and sending them to people to hopefully promote the book, to stir interest in the book, and hopefully get people to want to read it. Make them limited. You know, I'm not going to make that many of them, I think. I'm just going to make 10. Therefore, I believe that it would be possible for them to be worth, something, if there's only 10 of them and they're rare, and they were made by the guy that actually made the character, it's possible someday they may be worth something. So that's the plan. Print out today's statues, send them out like a promotion thing to try to woo. That's the word. Woo people. Wow people, or woo people into reading my book about a guy that's made of wood. It is nice to, after years and years of modeling, I've been modeling stuff since I believe around 2007. And one time in the past, I did pay to have a 3D print made of Manthano, but it was so expensive that the best that I could get size-wise, he was like this tall, an inch or so tall. That's the only time before that I've ever had printed one of my models. It's nice. After years of looking at this looking at him back there on the screen, after years of working on it and making it, and spending hours and hours and hours of working with him and shaping this, that, or the other, it's nice to be able to print it out and hold it in your hand. But I think it's possible. I think I'll be able to make 10 of those things. I've already made one tiny one. Should be able to make 10 big ones to send out to people. I'm like the little engine that could. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. But yeah, that's the plan. I think I can. And some of you may want to see this. I posted on Twitter the other day. You see, my models that I work with in Maya to animate and render, they're very, well, they're not very, but they're lower polygon models. They don't have much detail in them. The detail that is in them is driven out through displacement maps. Black and white images that kind of fake polygons. So when I hit render in Maya and it goes through Arnold or the Maya software, it sees that black and white image and adds that detail to the polygons, because I can't really, there's no way I can animate a model that had all that detail in the polygons. So, problem that I had, number one, with printing my models. Well, if I just take my models as is, throw them on that printer and hit print, it's not going to look nothing like what's behind me, okay? Because the poly count is so low. So the problem I had to deal with was how to get that information of the displacement maps into the actual polygons so that it would print and look like that. And I thought of different ways I could go back to the sculpts that I actually have that are the Mudbox files, add blend shapes, shape those polygons to the pose that I need, which I could do, export out that and print a high quality polygon mesh from that. That was my plan. Then I figured out I was running all around the mulberry bush chasing the weasel when I didn't have to, because right in Maya there's, in the modify drop down, it's convert displacements to polygons, and you do that and it's a slow process, and if you have the polygons too high, Maya will crash, but it will take the displacement maps It will create a mesh of high detail that is printable from the black and white image that is already in the texture of my models. Did that and got to thinking, well, couldn't I do that with any image that I wanted? You know, just convert it to black and white, make it a displacement map, and convert displacement to polygons. Could I make like engravings, something that looks like it's engraved? I was sitting and thinking on that, and I was like, you know, that would probably work. I just, in theory, it should work. Would it work in actuality? Well, was watching this woman, Keanu Thompson, in her podcast, and she's always giving out these things she calls Kiki coins. And I was working on my stuff. I usually just like to have something playing in the background when I'm working on stuff. It just helps me think. So I see her giving away the Kiki coins. I had been thinking about, can I make something look like it's engraved? And I was like, well, I bet you I could probably make an actual Kiki coin. And doggone it, I did it. Let me see if I can hold that to the light. There you go. The Kiki coin. Kind of have to hold it to the light just right for it to look right. And the back of the Kiki coin, which I am amazed turned out as good as it did. I really am amazed by this because I just set this to print and I did not know if my printer would be able to capture all that detail, because all this detail in this coin is really fine. I mean, if you look at it, there isn't much in-depth difference in it. It's very slight, but it really shows up in the light. You just can't see anything when I just hold it right up there like that. You have to hold it to the light like that. But it looks good. So, what's the plan here? Well, I think it would look better if it looked like real metal, real gold. This looks good, but it just looks like plastic with resin. It's not plastic, but it's resin. But that's what it looks. It looks good, but it's just a gray coin. Found some resin that is supposed to look like metal when it prints. I'm going to see how it looks when it prints. Could I paint this? Well, I don't think so. I believe that if I try to paint this gold, that, well, first I'd have to prime it, and that would cover up some of the detail because the detail is very fine in here, and then I'd have to paint it gold, which would cover up the detail more. So after doing all that, would it still even show all that engraving? I don't think it would. But if the actual resin that I'm printing it with is one that will look like a type of metallic material, then bada bing, bada boom, I can print them and they come right out looking like an actual coin. And that's the hope. And I don't know when that resin's going to get here. I'm trying to work with different resins to see experiment with different resins, flexible resins for Tadeus's cape. I would like the cape to have some give to it on the statue that I'm making, so that I could print it separate and put it on him and not have to worry about it breaking. On the model that I have, that the cape is separate, the cape it's puts a lot of stress on that cape when I put it on him and off him, so I don't take it off him much. And I don't plan on ever taking that cape off of him again. So, but if the cape is a flexible resin, then it won't be any big deal. You can take the cape on, you can take the cape off. The cape should not break. But I guess that's the plan. To be busy printing, print. That's the thing. Is it takes forever for this thing to print. This took 2.5 hours to print. This, which was printed in 2 parts, the lid and the bottom. The bottom took 16 hours to print. The lid took 14, something like that. Now the one I'm going to make, when I go to make the one that I plan on sending out people, will be slightly smaller than this. But still, it's probably going to take 10 to 12 hours for the top and the bottom to print. So, and then I'm sure for the 10-inch tall version of Tadeus that I want to print to go on the stand, 16 hours easy. So, 10, 20, 30, 40. It's going to be 40 hours, and you consider the cape, all that at least, into the statue that as I print it. And so, guess I'll be busy with my printers printing away. Yep. I guess that's all I've got to say. I say no more. This is the Unpicked One. Y'all take it easy.